Arizona protesters are objecting to the Kavanaugh confirmation.
Several dozen members of women's advocacy groups gathered outside Senator Jeff Flake's office in Phoenix today, urging him to vote no on his nomination. Yesterday, 33 Arizona women claiming to be sexual abuse survivors sent him a letter appealing for the same thing. In our continuing coverage on the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation, the GOP Senate Judiciary Chair says there is no hint of misconduct in the confidential FBI report on the sexual misconduct claims against Kavanaugh.
Yeah, the highly publicized process is bringing up a large amount of emotional stances and issues to light. 9 on Your Side's Taja Davis spoke with the National Institute of Civil Discourse to see how this case is impacting society.
More than 20 million people watched Christine Blasey Ford and Brett Kavanaugh testify last Thursday. And that does not include the number of people who watched on their phones, computers, and on social media. Carolyn Lukensmeyer, the executive director of the National Institute for Civil Discourse, says even before Kavanaugh's hearing, the nation was heavily divided.
The last decision that created an equal level of moral outrage was the issue of taking children from their parents at the border. So we just keep adding on distinct policy decisions that further exacerbate a deep, deep anger, a deep, deep sense of vulnerability in one group of Americans about another group of Americans.
Many Americans side with Kavanaugh. Others are standing beside Blasey Ford.
Unfortunately, the hyper-partisanship of the Kavanaugh hearings and then adding on the issue of the sexual assault, and this is just going to exacerbate and make much more difficult the ability to heal in our communities.
A vote is set for Friday on whether to move forward with voting Kavanaugh into a Supreme Court seat. A vote that will have Americans glued to their screens.
Whatever the decision is, it's just going to be a different group of Americans, and I mean millions of Americans, who are morally outraged by that decision.
Taja Davis, KGUN 9 on Your Side.
The impact of the Kavanaugh hearing